Hey guys, Girl Kid, I'm back in another video, and today we're going to be doing ramblings of a WWE fan, which it's been a little second to me. I feel like it's been a little while. First off, let's talk about the WWE Unreal Netflix docu-series. How y'all feeling about that? Because I have opinions, and I'm not one of them old school people at all, because I'm just not. But like, there's a line. We all know that wrestling is scripted. We all know it's a performance. We all know the, certain things of the business, the secrets of the business. But we do not need to know everything. I think there's a fine line where you keep the imagination going when we don't see the things behind the scene. You keep the magic about it all when we're not seeing a whiteboard of matches. Of course, me saying this is not going to stop it. I know it's still going to come out, but there is just a part of me that I know that there might be new fans, but at the same time, you aren't really going to cater to your older your fans that have been fans. I mean, seeing the matches on that board, like, you just know there's gonna be discourse about certain superstars. Like, that whole Jey Uso clip where he was just in the clip where Triple H is saying that I'm gonna put a rocket on you, bro, that already got too much traction. It already got too much traction, and to see certain matches there, it's like, oh, it opens them up to criticism that I don't think they want to have. With what has been said by Triple H and people, he wanted people to, just enjoy it and not always criticize it. But when everything's out on Front Street, it's gonna get criticized. In today's age of when everybody just thinks they are professional about it all and they just know, they're gonna talk about it. That's just life. That's just how things are. So to see certain matches, there was a match that got me. It was Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill, and I felt bad because Nia Jax was nowhere to be on that card. And a Nia Jax and Jade Cargill match. Now, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley were on that board as well. That's a match I want to see. But also, that meant that Rhea was gonna have that belt for 2 years. She didn't need that belt for 2 years. I'm glad that did not happen. And it is cool to see how they're able to flip things and how nothing is the same, and it opens up doors for other superstars, because Liv Morgan was not going to be able to have a chance to have the year that she had they stuck with that plan. And honestly, Naomi would not have been able to make history without things happening. So I'm not upset about it. It's just, let's keep the mystery alive. Let's keep them alive. There's no need to tell everybody, hey, that's a work, that's a work, that's a work, that's a work, that's a work. No need to tell everybody that, because we all know. But it's freaking cool when you get to lose yourself in it. It's cool when you get to lose yourself in it. You can't really lose yourself in it when somebody's like, oh, I just see how that match was done. Yeah, crazy. While you're trying to enjoy it. Like, I don't need to know that. And that kind of brings me to the Pat McAfee interview with The Rock. Now, I think everybody who watched WrestleMania was a little disappointed to see The Rock did not show up. Which, I am disappointed, because y'all been talking about this whole storyline for a long time, and we saw Travis Scott, the person we didn't really plan on seeing, but we didn't see The Rock, the one who is behind the scenes orchestrating everything from our eyes as the viewers. And then he says, I was just there to sell tickets. I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon. This, what? That whole Elimination Chamber thing was what? Like, and then people, and it's like, I feel as though with wrestling, they want us to be like, this is all part of the plan. Yet you don't get your story straight to everybody. We all thought, like, he was talking about how, hey brother, y'all thought, this is why you gotta let the rock take you on a ride he's taking you on. Just for it to be like, oh yeah, we just make stuff up. He didn't say we was making stuff up, but like, that's basically just making stuff up. And I do agree with him on a certain extent. It was like he wanted the spotlight to be on John Cena winning the 17th, so that's why he didn't come, even though he had the opportunity to come. But at the same, although I like Rock, and Rocky is cool, but could nothing have overthrow that moment. Nothing at all. And it's just, it's like, I understand we aren't the ones in that writing room. We're not the ones who are there day in, day out. But we don't insult our intelligence. Don't insult our intelligence. Like, we smelled BS, and you told us a little BS. Because, and I do agree with The Rock, like, he does not need to have made an appearance just for him not to be able to fulfill the obligations because of all the many things that he has his hands in. So I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't want to get stuck. Because of all those prior arrangements and stuff like that, we've never had a Rock versus Roman match, which I don't believe, or I don't know if we're gonna ever have, honestly. And I made my peace with that. That's if it happens, it happens. Honestly, I can go run up on 2K and do that, have that dream match if I really wanted to at this point. That may be the closest I get to it. I just need them to get their story straight together, okay? And then later on, The Rock says everything at work. Interviews are at work. I'm like, all right, brother. All right, man. He's good at what he does. I'll say that. He's buzzing up conversation about it. And WrestleMania itself, I think we're being a little too harsh. Just a tad bit too harsh, but at the same time, it's valid criticism, because the storylines going into WrestleMania are not as heated as they were last year or the year before. It was not. I'll say about 3-4 matches have had the storyline, had that good feeling. I meant 5. I say 5. You had the NAOMI match with Jade. We had the Jey Uso triple threat with the ladies, the men's triple threat, and then the Fatal 4-Way. That had me in there. Everything else, and there was a lot of people that saying like, hey, let's take it back to one day. And it's like, I see them having years where you could have only had a day, but I also see there's going to be years where you're glad there is 2 days. I know for a fact there's going to be some years where we're like, oh yeah, I'm glad it's 2 days. So I think we're being a little too hard, but because we did just come from a fire WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40 was an anniversary type of feeling though, so it was 40. It was 40. Cody Rhodes had his emotional story, and then we had The Rock during the full road to WrestleMania teaming up with Roman Reigns. So if we take a step back and realize, compared to last year, this year didn't really stand a chance. And that's not to say John Cena getting 17 isn't as emotional. It's just, y'all know, it wasn't the same. It's not the same as an investment wise. It's just like, we're glad we had it at 17. We're glad we got it. Because the way it happened kind of took the wind out of our sails. And I guess that was a point. I guess that was a point for us not to like WrestleMania, because he's ruining professional wrestling. I guess. Now, there was talks about, it's the draft soon. So there's talks about certain call-ups. And the names that I saw, 2 names, Trick Williams and Lola Vice. Trick Willie. Keep him in NXT. I'm going to say it right now. Keep Trick Williams in NXT if we don't have a plan. Because Trick Williams is really good. I just feel that it's pretty early for you to throw him in there and possibly have him have something with Melo already. It's just, I think that's the easy route to go. I mean, it writes itself. So, of course, if Trick Williams goes on the roster, we're going to have a quick story with Carmelo Hayes. And I just think it's too early, because I don't know if they're really doing much with Carmelo Hayes currently. So why put him backwards instead of going forwards and getting some accolades, getting some time in, and then have Trick Williams, the person that was his number 2 basically, who was able to be number 1 in that moment, meets a kind of settled Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and I just don't want Trick Williams to get released. I don't want him being catering, and I just don't want him to get released. And currently, while he's in NXT, he got a good thing going on. And I'm scared. Unless they put him in that one group with Seth Rollins, keep him in NXT. Now, Lola Vice, I think that's a very interesting name to have out ahead of, your Roxanne, your Julia. I think that's a very interesting name. And not that she's not good. It's just, I don't know too much about NXT either. So I will say that I'm not consistent on it. It's just, would she be 100% ready? And we still have Kiana James, who is out on injury. So what happens when she comes back? Is there going to be a spot for her? Because let's keep it a stack. When it comes with the women's division, it's not to the point where they can properly take care of all these superstars. And while they're still growing, and you just don't want them to have a Blair Davenport type of situation. Which, of course, I know that that's not what they expect to happen going out. It's just something that can happen. And I'd just rather it not happen. I mean, unless you make them a valet, but you don't really want to do that either. You don't really want to make your Lola Vice a valet. But if Trick Williams was able to get in that group with Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman, I wouldn't be mad at that. And people are calling it Evolution 2.0. And I called it that in there because it was like, oh, that sounds sweet. But it makes no sense. When I said it, I thought about it for a little bit when I was editing. I'm like, that makes no sense. But yeah, it just makes no sense. It would be something else. It wouldn't be that. But y'all let me know how you guys are feeling about WrestleMania. A few days after. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.